Good evening, one and all. Live chat 158 coming to you from Bootsy's Base Corner here in London, here in the UK. It's Sunday, it's 6 o'clock. Hope you're all well. Hope your bass playing's going good. I see you there, young Richard. Quiet here. You got here 4 minutes early. That'll be why it's quiet. But I hope everyone's doing well. I hope your bass playing's doing great. You're very welcome. You're amongst friends. We're talking bass guitars, all related subjects to that, I guess. So if you've got any questions about bass gear, bass players, technique, gear, playing requirements, maybe you're doing auditions, maybe you're trying to set up a pedal board, maybe you're setting up a bass, maybe you're looking to buy some new equipment, maybe buying your first bass, first pedal, first amp, by all means fire questions and comments at us. So you got live chat window to the right of the screen if you're on the desktop. If you're on the mobile app, the live chat question window is directly below. Put your cursor insertion point in the rectangular box that says chat or comment. Type your question, press send, it appear here in the live chat window, and then we can respond to it. That's how we work. But like I say, if you're here to talk bass guitars, then you're amongst friends. So it's fabulous to have you along for the ride. Evening. Hope you've had a good week. I've had a very good week. Thank you very much. And yeah, lots of things all going on as we come out of winter. Everything seems to be picking up. Yeah, lots of good things. Some things I can't talk about at the moment because they haven't started happening. But when they do, I'll let you know in future live chat weeks. But come on in. We're talking basses. Bill Derbyshire, good to see you. So, as I say, if you've got any questions regarding bass playing, bass gear, bass players, fire away. I'll try my very best to answer any questions you've got. Vissel, good to see you. DJ Spire, good to see you again. 3 weeks on the trot. So happy you're on. I look forward to the live stream every single weekend. Well, thank you very much. Adrienne, good to see you too. Hope you're all good. So, if you're wondering why there hasn't been a lot of long-form content over the past couple of weeks, it turns out that YouTube is prioritizing shorts at the moment. So unless you're a very large channel and you have lots of subscribers who regularly watch your material as you launch it, for a channel like mine, with a small number of subscribers, but I'm good with that because the subscribers get involved and what have you. But for a small channel, which we are, the algorithm is not pumping out the content. Lots of creators have been saying the same thing. We're putting up long form videos and then just not getting the push that YouTube should give. However, if you put up shorts, it's going absolutely hell for leather with shorts. So I did a little bit of research in the analytics, and exactly the same thing was what I was finding. My shorts are getting pushed out left, right, and center, but the longer form content, the regular horizontal 16:9 format, is a little slow. So for the time being, until the algorithm changes again, which is what it keeps doing, it'll prioritize certain types of content, and you have no knowledge which it's prioritizing. It just happens. And what happens is a lot of the YouTube educators on YouTube suddenly pick up on it. They see the trends and it gets posted up and people discuss it. And that's how I pick up on it. So at the moment, short seems to be the priority. Not live streams, not vertical streams, vertical live chats, but long form content is just, it's not that it's stagnating. That's not the case at all. But the formats are being prioritized very differently by the algorithm. So I thought, right, I'm going to do a little experiment then. So I went in, did a load of research, looked at VIDIQ and their app, and actually used some AI to do some of the sort of calculation on all this. And I was working on a few things. And so past 3-4 days, I've put out a couple of shorts, very short shorts, to see if what all of the educators and the AI and YouTube itself was saying with regards to certain things. And I'm sort of ploughing that furrow to see what happens. So initial indicators are good. But some of them, I think it's going to be a slightly slow burn, but the initial takeoff is very good. So now just got to keep an eye on it for the next sort of 7 to 10 days and see what happens. Fingers crossed, it could suddenly lead to a whole explosion in view numbers, uptake of content, view duration, all of that. So it's weird that we have to do this, as though we've got enough plates to spin doing YouTube and the socials generally, although because I don't earn money on the socials, I don't concentrate on them. But with regards to YouTube, it's you're spinning all those plates, and every 2 to 3 months, the algorithm changes again and again and again and again and again. So you have to keep watching to see which format it's serving up the most, whether it's to your regular subscribers, new potential audiences, and you have to keep an eye on the whole analytics of your channel, literally not just day by day, but hour by hour, because it's changing constantly. It's entertaining. It keeps you on your toes, put it that way. Richard, you too? Someone got wind of you donating instruments to one of the schools and met up with you on Friday to give you 4 basses in flight cases. Well, there we are. Excellent stuff. There we go. People saying hello. Richard, that was very nice and donated. Yeah, we have enough basses to keep us going for years. There you go. There you go. There you go. So if you have any questions, anything to do with bass, not bass fishing. We're not here about bass fishing. Bass guitars, bass playing, famous bass players, talking gear, we're talking technique, we're talking anything to do with bass. That's what we're here for. We'll be here for a couple of hours, and we'll see how we go. Beat after beat, good to see you. I'm waiting for young Zuma to rear his head. As far as I'm aware, he's still editing our Rio masterpiece. It's going to look like Ben-Hur by the time he's finished with it, because it run, well, I don't know how long it's going to run. We recorded almost 3 hours worth of content. The poor bugger's having to sort of go through it all. But we'll see. We'll see. DJ Spire, have I ever had a piece of gear break on the road? Yeah, I've had a speaker cab split a cone mid-gig. That was a Hartkey XL 4x10. The reason it's split, and I knew why as soon as it happened, was, so I can even tell you when it happened. It was in 1997. I was in the middle of a Christmas tour with the glam rock tribute band I was playing with. We used to do about 20 gigs in a month, and when we were doing that, the gear would live at the central hub where the bulk of the band all lived. So the gear would come in and out of vans and what have you. But it was very cold, as I recall, that winter. And I think my cab had stayed in the van from the night before in a lockup that the two of the guys in the band were then working for a production company. And we were able to store the van in a lockup, I guess, where the production company was based, and the cab had stayed in the van overnight midwinter. Now the air in the van must have warmed it up on the journey to the following gig, but I remember it being really cold, and we got the cab out and I could see there was some condensation on the aluminium driver, and I just started playing a Music Man Stingray that was quite aggressive sounding. And that would have been for about 5 months I've been playing that, which was very difficult, very different to my Kubicki in terms of how powerful it was in terms of signal. And I could see this condensation on the cones, and I knew we had a little bit of time, so I took the grill off and I wiped all the cones round and made sure I had all the moisture off, and that was fine. I left the amp powered, so it was heating up and doing its thing. And about 4 songs in, and I wasn't playing particularly loud, I heard my bass tone change radically. So the way Hartkey certainly the XL cabinets ran was that you had 4 drivers in a 4x10, but the cabinet worked like there was a split down the center of the cabinet. There was nothing physically there, but they were compartmentalized. So you had 2 drivers working and another 2 drivers working. And if one cone went, the other driver in the pair would carry on. So the cab was pretty efficient in that respect. But what would happen is if you got a tear in the cone, it would start sounding like you got a fuzz pedal on. And it was really off-putting. And I could tell as soon as it split, and I didn't hear it split, but I heard the change in tone. And I looked round, you could see these 2 sides of this cone just flapping away at each other. And I thought, yeah, going down the base centre tomorrow, aren't we, for a replacement cone? And that was it. And Chris turned it around. Well, literally had a pile of cones. And I've said this before on the live chat, was the base centre at that time with a distributor, UK distributor for Hartkey. And he had a pile of brand new drivers in boxes. And what would happen is every Saturday morning, there would be the usual queue of players, loads of people in London using Hartkey rigs who were out doing gigs in pubs and clubs and everywhere else. And they'd come in, they'd split a cone. They'd walk into Chris's workshop and say, have you got a 10-inch driver for a Hartkey? Yep. And you'd give him your old one, and he'd give you a box with a new one. You could take the box if you wanted, but if you left it with him, he'd put your old one in it. And so he had these 2 piles. So you'd have one pile of boxes with new cones and one pile with the broken ones. You paid him your 85 quid. You got a new driver. Very easy to connect. You just put it in the hole where the old driver was, connect up the cable on the back with the connectors, and away you went. And that was it. And that was a religious experience every Saturday. It was the only time I ever blew a driver in that cab. And in fact, the only time I've blown a driver ever in being a bass player. And he would tell me stories every Saturday. You'll get a troop of players come in through the day, bringing their knackered 10-inch speakers, and he'd send them out with a new one. They pay their £85 bill. And then on a Monday morning, he'd send the old knackered drivers off to Hartkey, or they would send him the kits to replace them, and he'd do it. And that was it. That was the drill. Halcyon days. But that's happened to me on the road. The Hartkey amp that went with it was great for about 7 years, and then that started developing faults that became quite regular, and I've had that happen mid-gig. In fact, the Hartkey always went down mid-gig. It was never in sound check, never at home practicing, always on a show. It happened, I can tell you, 1, 2, 3, about 5 times, by which time I moved over to EBS stuff and sold the Hartkey stuff. The EBS went down twice, I think. First time was because the drummer in my covers band gave me a power lead out of a bag when we had to set up really quick. And instead of letting me get my cables out of my gig case, he went, oh, look, there's a kettle lead. Just use that. It had a 3-amp fuse in it. And EBS gear doesn't like 3-amp fuses in any shape, manner or form. And I put this thing in, turned it on, the amp went pop, and that was the end of that. And that had to go to Bernie Goodfellow down in Brighton. And about 2 days later, I'd found someone was selling a second-hand EBS Fafner, so I went and bought it. It's still in the rig over there in the rack. And after I'd finished buying that, I then went off to Bernie, took my amp with me, obviously, and he went, "Yeah, that's all knackered. That's knackered. Right, let's fix it." And it all got fixed, and that was it. And so I had 2 EBS Fafners, which are now over there. You can't really see. Let me see if I lower that. You might. They're both there. There you go. Fafner and Fafner. Sounds like a branch of accountants, doesn't it? But anyway, so that was that. Generally, though, basses, not so much. I haven't had basses generally go wrong on gigs. Batteries die. That happens. Batteries dying and string snapping. But, yeah, other than that, no. Just a couple of rogue amp situations that I've generally got out of. In my younger days, you couldn't afford having multiple amp setups. Now I've got more amps and I can swing a cat at. But so now I always carry a backup. I carry the Trace Elf in my gig bag. Before I had the Trace Elf, I'd always take my Galleon Kruger MB200 everywhere, but it's the way it is, isn't it? As you get older and you've got a bit more money to play with and times move on, you can pick up some amp bargains. It's you can cover your backside. So yeah, I don't have that sort of thing anymore. So thankfully, he says, and then I'll do a gig with an amp soon and it'll all go bang again. How about you, DJ Spire? You had anything go wrong on the road? Don't forget base soup cookery. Well, the base soup will be made up of the water that we boil the strings in, obviously. Which I've had amps fail on the tour a couple of times, mainly liquidized speaker cones. If it's cold, and especially during winter, if you're doing 2 nights in a venue or a couple of nights, you want to get in early, turn the amp on, and get the amp rig heating up, warming up. Because then when it comes to performance time, it's running at its optimum. If you leave it in a cold room or a cold vehicle, you're asking for trouble, really. And the only way you can make those things warm up is room temperature and play them gently for a bit. So normally on a sound check, if it's cold during winter, I'll play at a low volume and just get the cones moving a bit, get the amp doing its thing. And then when you get to showtime, obviously you can turn the volume up and what have you. But the other thing is amps warming up. And I'm always been, after a sound check, I'll turn the amp off. But as I've got older and I'm okay, I've got more amp gear. And now if I leave a rig on or it's turned on at sound check, I'll just leave it on, let it just do its thing. And hopefully by the time you come to showtime, it's all working. I will tend to go and check like half an hour before. So if the amp has developed a problem, I'll just, if it blew up without anything happening, I'll just swap the amp over. I'll always go and check my stuff about 15 to 30 minutes before showtime. Just because you never know. You never know if the electrics in a venue might cause a spike or, if power turns off to the stage. And Lord knows I've been in plenty of situations where that's happened, especially on weddings. If you're in a marquee, that can happen all the time. So always just check, especially if you've got valves in an amp, because a plug board turn off or something spikes, that sort of peak in electrical performance can blow the valves in your amp, blow the power stage, and you've got no amp. So yeah, there we are. Richard, apart from a couple of speaker failures, you've been very lucky with gear over the past near 40 years. Right, got you. Bill Derbyshire only had strings go, but that's when you play with the plectrum. See, I've had many strings go with fingerstyle, to be fair. You've never had it with fingerstyle. Okay. Sometimes you wonder, are the strings old? Sometimes it can be a sharp bridge saddle where you got a burr in the metal, especially if you use round wound steels. If you look very closely on a lot of saddles, a round wound steel string will create a curve, and in there can sometimes be like a sharp point where just the movement of the string within the saddle just creates this peak on the metal. You have to file it down, smooth it out. And I know I've had it happen to me very early on where on my Hohner Jack bass, those saddles, you would end up with a trough where the string would literally vibrate and create a U shape and would leave a sharp burr. You put a new set of strings on and it would just snap really quickly. So you learn, have a rounded file that you can sort of do that DIY yourself. I paid a shop 50 quid to do that in like 1989. And when I said to the guy, what did you do? He said, nothing. So I just used a rounded file. But anyway, it's 50 quid, mate. Thanks. And I was like, hey, I paid you 50 quid for that. I could do that myself. He said, yeah, but you didn't know, did you? So you learn it very quick. You learn how to do it. Richard, actually, it's a very good point. Never broken a bass string on a gig. Oh, I've done many strings on gigs, to be fair. Doesn't happen these days. I'm trying to think, when did I last snap a string on a gig? I can't even remember. It's got to be before COVID. Has to be before COVID. I don't think I've even snapped a string on an Uncle Funk show yet. I don't think so. I don't think so. Never done one on a Queen show either, so it's all good. You don't see anyone in the chat. It's because you're on the vertical stream. So we're running 2 streams. It's the horizontal and the vertical. So you will... I haven't turned them on. I do this every week. Mike, turn on the messages. There we go. Now you'll see them. You'll see all the messages. That collates the messages across both streams. There you go. Visog 3090s. Are you a guitar player? Playing the banjo. You never leave amps on after a sound check. People don't realise they can. They can overheat, but with a lot of the Class D stuff, they've all got fans inbuilt. I've not had a problem with all that. It's normally I'm worried about electrical spikes, so that would be a reason. If I know, like if we've done a sound check and the power's gone once or twice, that has happened on Uncle Funk shows, although I don't use amps on those. But if say I was doing a Queen show and it was a wedding and we were playing in a marquee and the power had gone off a couple of times, I would turn it off after sound check, because I just don't want to take the risk of it being blown and I'm not stood there to know that it's been blown. But yeah, generally, if I'm using Class D stuff, I just leave it turned on, especially if it's cold. There we go, B. Gotcha. Westfort, Leo, good to see you. How you doing? Getting all your footage up on Instagram, I see. Bill W, you managed to ruin your gear at home, especially with batteries wrongly installed. I didn't like to bring that up, Bill, But yeah, very good, very good. There we go. Everyone saying hello. It's all good. Yeah. So here we are. It's 23 minutes past 6 here in London town. This is live chat 158 on Brooks's Bass Corner. Good to have you along. We're talking basses, bass guitars, bass effects, gear, amps, strings, cleaning materials. If you got any gear problems, let us know. Try and help you. That's what we do. There's no merchandise deals this week. There's nothing, I think, until the 25th, which is Wednesday, when there's a 20% discount on. All your affiliate links and Ujima flips are in the description box below. What we got here? You're doing great. No to bad, Leo. Hope you're well. Here we go. Video up on Insta. You're very happy. Good. I'm glad you got it all sorted out. Excellent stuff. Young Leo was over here 2 weeks ago. We met up, didn't we? We went to the gallery for an afternoon and had a lovely time. Well done to the chaps in the gallery for making us most welcome. Although I don't think they tune into this. They don't. I talk to Martin about it every time I go and see him, and he's still none the wiser. But very good. So if you've been out gigging, let us know where you've been playing, what you've been doing. If you've got gigs coming up, again, let us know where you're playing. There is a QR code, so if you're thinking, well, what's the channel? Point your phone camera at that. It'll take you straight through to Brooks's Bass Corner on YouTube. You can't spell today. Type slowly. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Magazine news. Let's think what we got. So the big boss is back from his little couple of days away, and I think we're going through the equipment for the reviews this week. So that will be interesting. Nothing I can divulge at the moment. I know some of the stuff that's heading our way, but I don't know which is going into the first issue. So I will know that information next week. What else? I know you guys overseas are still waiting for your mags. I don't know what's happening. I know they've all been shipped, but it's gone second class post, and I don't know how Europe and America and the other continents deal with second-hand post, unfortunately. All I can say is it should get there at some point. But yeah, if it's not there, you're just going to have to wait. I can't speed up the post. It'd be lovely if we were using first-class post, but have you seen the cost of first-class post in the UK? It's ridiculous. So it goes second, and I don't know how the foreign sort of mailing systems deal with it. So just let me know when you get your mag, folks. I know the US contingent certainly haven't had theirs. And I'm thinking that is going to be, so they went out on the Wednesday, it'll be 3 weeks this week coming since they were shipped. So that's scary that if we put a mag out, it could take almost a month for you to see the stuff. I will feed it back to the powers that be, but I can't see them posting out first class. It's too expensive. Yeah, there we are. There we are. But it's been a busy old week here. Trying to think. So, as I said, been doing a lot of stuff regarding shorts and seeing. And in fact, while we're here, I did put up a short about an hour ago. Let's see if that's taken off. I think it probably did. It started to. Oh, we've had a new subscriber. Fabulous. If you're watching, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Okay, no, there's nothing in the community tab. Find there, analytics. That new one has had. Okay, it started quick and then dropped off. So one of the videos I put up on Thursday, losing track of the days this week, did nothing for about 5 hours and then took off like a rocket. And has been doing good things for about 3 days. Put one up yesterday. That started a lot quicker and has died off, but it keeps going through peaks and troughs. The one I put up an hour ago started very quick and has died down, I think. Yeah. But again, that could then take off a couple of hours. Shorts are funny things. They really are. Beat after beat will confirm all of this. You can put a short up and it's go quick and then just literally dies on its backside and does nothing. You can put another one up and it does nothing. You think, oh, it's completely flatlined. That's not the plan. Give it 3 or 4 hours and then it takes off. There's no method to it. You can't expect anything. And I've had shorts that have done nothing for 6 months and then taken off. It's a weird old thing. It's a weird old thing. Let's just check the stream health, see how we're doing. It's good. That one's fine. What about this one? Stream health on that one is fine as well. Good. It's all good. Okay. Groovy grooves. Yeah, and we're there. Cool. Let's see who we got there. There's Stacey Ann. She popped in. How you doing? Bill Derbyshire, I have a gig next Saturday in Hunstanton at the Princess Theatre, Bill. I've allegedly got a gig in Hunstanton in about 4 weeks' time, playing at the Princess Theatre. However, ticket sales have not been off the charts, and we're going to have to take a serious look at that one soon. Apparently, the promotion company have paid a social media company to produce all the promotional stuff for it, and we've not seen it yet. It's like, do you want to give us access to that so we can put it on our socials? But we're waiting. It's going to be a long night as we play till 1 a.m. That's not the Princess Theatre then. And the clocks go forward. Yes, they do. So it will be pretty much breakfast time when we get home. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Beat after beat, you put one up every 2 hours, but only 3 a day. That's the way to do it. You put more than that up, they don't have any time to... I think the algorithm it clearly has things it does and rules it plays by. And unless you're a big channel with huge numbers of subscribers, so if someone misses one short, chances are the next one will have loads of views instantly because of your subscriber base. For people like you and I, beat no more than 3. I did 6 the other day, and it was a mixed bag. I think 3 of them did really well. 2 of them did, yeah, all right, and 1 did absolutely nothing, and still hasn't done anything. So I think 3 is kind of the optimum, really, because you have to let the algorithm do its thing, and it won't. You can't guarantee that the algorithm will promote each short. This is the difference between shorts and long form, is that with long form, you need people to go and find it. With shorts, it's put in front of them on their phone. That's the difference. So if you put up 6, like I did, or more, that might be a bit mad. But I was doing it as part of an experiment. So it was 6 shorts taken out of the Depping video that I put up last week. Rich, you've just watched the shorts. Quo tunes. I haven't done any quo tunes. Queen tunes, not quo tunes. There's a Kool and the Gang, Jungle Boogie. Another One Bites the Dust and Under Pressure. There's no quo there. No. Not yet. Although I don't think any quo bass lines would feature in the greatest bass lines of all time, but I'm willing to be advised accordingly. Stacey saying hello, evening and night is the best. Yes. So generally the thing with shorts, it seems to be, beat, is don't put anything up before midday, and check your analytics to see what that is saying in terms of best time for optimum performance on shorts. So I'm finding generally something around 1 o'clock is good, something between 3 and 4 is good, between 6 and 7, and occasionally I get a good video around 9 p.m, but that's not always a guaranteed. But the other 3, because you're giving them 3 to 4 hours, that seems to work, but not each one will do it. And also you have to look at what your titles are. That's the big thing for a short. So you got to do your keyword research. I wasn't convinced that descriptions and all of that stuff had a big impact on shorts, but I think there might be. I think keyword use in the description is very important for shorts, I think. I don't know. No one knows. But for years I've done shorts and not really dealt with the descriptions. And now in VidIQ, I'm getting it suggesting descriptions to be added to the shorts. And when I'm doing it in advance, so if I'm producing a bunch of shorts in advance and then scheduling them, if I've done all the back end with the description, the tags, all the other nuggets of info that we can do on the back end of a video, it seems to have an effect, which is good. Bill Rowland, Grandad. Oh, we got one of you, have we? Okay, we can get rid of you. Don't you worry. Take it easy. Richard, I know what you mean, Bill. After I moved back to Derbyshire from the southwest, the Warner shows on the Isle of Wight became a huge chore, getting home at 6 a.m. I'm not doing those gigs. In fact, I turned a gig away the other day in the summer because I worked out the actual travel time was close to 11 hours there and back. And even though the money was quite reasonable, I just thought, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Mean Girl, there we go. Yeah, she was a big girl. I met a gig girl. You were joking. Okay, you didn't put a smiley on that, you see. I hope you've had a good week. There we are, Richard. Yeah, Fast and Furious week past, so enjoying the remains of the weekend like a fiend. Like a fiend, okay. Yeah, yeah, fair enough. She's enjoying the weekend like a fiend. I don't know what that's meant to entail. I'll take your word for it. Right, let's see. You like the sound of a fiendish weekend? There we go. Yeah. Do you want to put some more meat on the bones of that, Stace? What is a fiendish weekend? I dread to ask. But yes, very good. Very good. So, got an Oasis show coming up this week in Bracknell, which should be entertaining. 245s of solid gold hits, of course. And what else is there? There's a couple other bits and bobs going on this week. I can't remember straight off the bat. The diary is starting to explode, so trying to keep up with it all is a job in itself. Stacey, like I'm really enjoying it, like mad. Very good. If fiendish equals cleaning the house, I'm going to be very disappointed. I think there's an element of that. I think there's an element of house cleaning. I'm sure. But yeah, all good, all good. Let's just check how we're doing here. That's all looking fine. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good. Yeah, yep, 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 yep. There we are. Stacey, it's certainly part of it, Richard. There's always a bit of that at the weekend, isn't there? So it's all good. I spent yesterday, because I didn't have a gig, I was catching up on gigs that I'd recorded on our TV hard drive. And there was stuff going back to about 2018. I'd forgotten I'd recorded all this stuff. And there's no way for me to save it down. It's one of those players that, you know, if it got a virus or it went wrong, if the hard drive went wrong, you'd lose all that content. I thought, well, I better watch this and then remove it. So one of the shows, I was immensely disappointed. So there was a show on there that was a Bootsy Collins show from 2011. There were 3 bass players. Bootsy, TM Stevens, and another guy. And the other guy was literally doing all the work. So 3 bass players, 2 keys players, drums, percussion, horns, female singers. I mean, I don't know how he was affording to pay all these people. And it was a festival show in France from 2011. Now, I hold Bootsy Collins in some reverence because I think under James Brown's umbrella and within the confines of James Brown's band, Bootsy Collins was phenomenal. I've never been a huge follower of P-Funk or Parliament, although I know quite a bit of the material, but not one of those bands I'd buy up the back catalogue and listen to it really closely. But I have to say, this was a concert that was on Sky Arts, and Sky Arts are dreadful for stringing a 1 hour concert out for 2 hours. So you get 10 minutes of footage and then 10 minutes of adverts. But anyway, I watched this thing, and in the end I started watching it at double speed because I just couldn't sit through it. It was so underwhelming. Underwhelming, boring. 3 bass players with only one of them really doing any bass playing. TM Stevens, really not very good. And Bootsy was, well, I just don't know what to say because he's a legend. And, you know, a bass god. And at one point, he was, you know, the funk bass player. But my word. And this gig is now 15 years old. So if you get offered tickets to see a Bootsy Collins show, whether it's a festival or a show, be prepared that you might be a little disappointed. There was nothing in his playing that made me go, oh, you know, amazing. What a player. It was very, very self-indulgent. I don't want to fill this with negatives, but I drew no positives from it. I was more let down, actually, that TM Stevens was dreadful. Because for him and some of the songs he's played on and the artists he's played with, he was a demon. But on this, it was literally like Bootsy and TM were having a competition to see who could have the thinnest bass sound, which was just treble with no bass end. half the time you couldn't tell which of them was playing and which one wasn't. The other guy, whose name I've never heard of, was the only one doing anything worthwhile. And he was probably on about £37.50. And you're looking at all this and how much the tickets must have been. And it wasn't a festival show in terms of there were lots of other bands on, although there may have been, and this was the only part that got filmed. I think this was a show as part of a larger festival. So Bootsy Collins had the stage that night. Someone else had the stage another night and the night before, that sort of thing. But it was awful. And the last 35 minutes of this show was literally a funk vibe with 2 chords. And he was just in the audience walking around shaking people's hands. He wasn't doing anything. So if you'd gone to see this, personally, if I'd paid for a ticket to see that show, I'd have been mortified. And all the songs, I mean, it was just dull, really dull. And it's not, dull isn't a word I'd correlate with Bootsy Collins. You know, the man is an energetic dresser, shall we put, but this gig was just woeful. And if someone said to me, "Oh, I've got free tickets to go see Bootsy Collins, do you want to come?" I think I'd have to say no. I can find better things to do with my time. It was just really bad, really bad. And I went for a load of other stuff on that hard drive. Saw the Rolling Stones from Hyde Park in 2013. That was a bit of a mess. And yeah, just lots and lots of gigs. And I suddenly realised, God, some of this stuff is not good. How these bands and artists allowed this stuff to go out and accepted it after editing. It's like, I wouldn't put that out if I were you. I'd just sort of sit back on that. There might be a couple of little highlight clips that might be worthwhile, but you wouldn't put it out. And no. But the Bootsy thing just astounded me how bad it was. But there we are. Richard, you've been to a 90th birthday party this afternoon, not yours. No, that would age you somewhat, although I'd say you'd look very good on it if you were 90, but very good. Richard, Bootsy was at his best when he played for James Brown. Exactly. I've got one of the concerts I always put up. It's in the Essential Bass album series here on the channel. There's an album called Love, Power, Peace by James Brown from Paris, 1970. And it's Bootsy's on bass, his brother on guitar. It's amazing. It's an amazing show. There is loads of video that's been uncovered for it. And in that context, in that framework, he's great. He's really good. But clearly, if you leave him to do his own thing, and he's had his, Bootsy's rubber band and all that. And I always hear people go, "Oh, he's amazing." Oh. If that is like an example of what he's like when he's running his own band, I'm not interested. It was just not good. What you might call milk toast. I don't know. What's that, Stace? I don't know. Richard, sounds like they were trying to cash in on the SMV tour. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it was that. I think it was probably more. I'm trying to remember the years TM Stevens was at the bass show. He was definitely there 2011. I think he was there 2012 and 2014 because he was friends with the original publishers of the Bass Mag, Oyster House Media, and he got involved in a lot of stuff. I think there was a religious connection. And he was on the first 2 bass shows, and he was there again in 2014. He was there 2014 because there was a big argument between him and a punter, and he got in a lift with a coffee, and the guy accidentally bumped into him, spilt TM's coffee, and TM just blew up. And I remember Joel telling me there was a huge ruckus about it, and they could tell he'd kind of lost his marbles, and obviously, sadly, he's not with us anymore. And I think he maybe had some medical condition already in 2011, and maybe Bootsy said, "Come out on tour," and, he could keep an eye on him, and it would give him a living, and maybe there was an element of that. But yeah, Bootsy's playing was self-indulgent. TM's playing was very self-indulgent, and you really couldn't hear him in the mix. And this other guy stood at the back was literally doing all the work. Now, what's she say? You're still trying to get your head around Angine de Poitrine, the mad French-Canadian polka dot black and white duo. You people talking in tongues tonight? Something I'm missing here. Milk toast. Sorry, I didn't know what you were implying. Very bland, just right. That. Thank you. Nowhere as good as French toast with maple syrup. There we are. No. So if you're ever cruising on Sky Arts and it says Bootsy Collins live in France 2011, avoid like the plague, or maybe watch it because you've heard me make these comments, and you'll probably see I'm right. I'm wondering if it's on. Actually, let's have a quick look, shall we? See if it's on YouTube, and you lot can give me your viewpoint. Let's have a look. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. I think that's it. Let's have a look. Just bear with me a second, folks. Let's just go into there. Yeah, there it is, isn't it? Right. Well, you can see if what I'm saying, but like us, how long does it last on here? Let's have a look. So on Sky Arts, it was 2 hours with adverts. This is an hour and a half, hour and 27. If you want to sit through this, be my guest. I suggest you run it at double speed, and you'll get the gist. But yeah, check that out, folks. You'll send me the link, okay? Stacey, bless it, we aren't trying to sound all out of sorts. That's all right. That's okay. So yeah. What else was on there? Stones, I said. I was also watching Seal. Did a Radio 2 session from 2015. Now, I'm a huge Seal fan, but his singing on that was not good. Not good. What else was there? I'm trying to think. There was a Tears for Fears thing going back to the mid-80s, that was. A couple of other bits and bobs. Anyway, I think I rattled through about 7 gigs and documentaries. So it was just disappointing. That thing had been on the hard drive since like 2018, 2019. And I hadn't watched it. And I thought, well, let's just watch it. And like I say, I got about half an hour in and realised it was a load of old toot. And I had to run it at double speed. I couldn't sit and watch the whole thing. I tried. Really, I tried. But it was hard going. B after B, you've never understood Seal. Kind of the first two albums are great. The fourth album is great. The third album, not sure what happened there. Kind of just kind of lost his thing. But the first two are really good, and there is live stuff of his first tour filmed in Dublin. And he's got a really great band on it, and it sounds great. And then for the fourth album, there's a Live in Paris DVD from about 2004, 2005. That's equally great. But this thing I watched was live for Radio 2, the BBC, in 2015. And he was really not... It wasn't that he was struggling. He was just under the note every time. And I was like, you're not going to get there. And a lot of the thing is, when he did his albums with Trevor Horn, he was pushing him to his vocal limit. That's what Trevor Horn does. Pushes any singer to like the top of what they can do. That's fine when you're in your 20s and early 30s, but once you get into your 50s, as any singer will tell you, your voice starts to drop, it changes. And you can't get those notes you got when you were younger. So you're either got to drop the pitch and the key of your song, or you got to find a way to get the old Hobsons back up there. Helium is a good, a good tool to have in that respect. But yeah, it was disappointing because I really liked stuff I've seen Seal do before. But he has one of those voices where, in the confines of a studio, you're going to get the maximum out of it, and he can push. You know, there's retake. Can't do that on a live gig. But again, was what it was. Stacey, did it look like Bootsy was doing a meet and greet? Yes, that's exactly what it kind of looked like. For about 35 minutes. So the last tune is literally just 2 chords, a funk vamp between the 2 notes. And he's not even playing bass. He's literally just in the crowd, shaking people's hands, which is very good, but a little disappointing. I was underwhelmed, put it that way. I should have it in my inbox. Okay, let's fire up the email because the email ain't active. What's this then? Now I saw a link to this elsewhere. Was this on Base Chat? I think someone posted this up. So I've been hit with a 20-second advert. Oh, I've got another advert. Joy. Too many adverts, YouTube. Oh, God. I can't listen to half an hour of this. There's too many dots on screen. What is all that about? Oh, my God. That's had 4.3 million views. People with buckets on their heads. What the hell is that? Oh, I can't be eating. Eating? I can't be watching that at the moment. I fry my brain. Not while I'm doing a live chat. I'll check it out later, Richard. It's been going around Base Chat for about a week. It's had 4.3 million views. Bear in mind, the average on a million views is £10,000. So they probably earned 40 grand from people watching that. Maybe I've missed the boat. I should put a bin on my head and dance around in polka dots. Maybe that's a thing. Bit off beat must be Devo if they have buckets on their heads. It's something else very strange looking. I tell you what, I don't know if that's a female or a male doing the guitar stuff, but they've got nothing on their feet. You don't want to get one of those stomp buttons on a pedal caught between 2 toes. You'll know about it. Oof. Makes me go giddy just thinking. The music is microtonal as well. Oh dear, so very confusing. It won't be getting much airtime with me, I'm afraid. I'll probably listen to about 30 seconds and that will be the end of that, but I will check it out later. So it's coming up to 7 o'clock. It is 5 to 7 here in London. Live chat 158 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. We're talking bass guitars. Everything to do with bass. We're not talking bass. That's bass fishing. We're talking bass guitars, of course. So if you've got any questions, any comments, put them in the live chat window, press send, and we will get them here. Okay. Yeah, all good. Everything's working as it should. Super. For those of a football playing persuasion, Man City have beaten Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. By the way, on that Bootsy Collins gig, the drummer looked like he was really struggling. Not that it was particularly difficult. It just looked like it was so hard work for him. Maybe he'd had a heavy night the night before. Who knows? Is that actually a channel that got? French, aren't they? That'll explain it. It's had 26,000 comments. Good Lord. Dearie me. Oh, I'm not getting into the stupidity of that while I'm in the middle of a live chat. Most definitely not. So no sign of young Zoomer at the moment. I'm guessing he's got his head in video editing. That's probably... Are you here, Zoomer? Are you skulking in the background? I'm not sure. I know his new cat's been getting him up at ridiculous times in the middle of the night. I know the problem. I have the same with 2 dogs. He's editing like mad over in LA. Apparently. Sorry, someone's just... What's that? No, that's nothing for me, is it? No. Very good. So if you watched any of the depth video last week, or the associated shorts that I remixed out of it, thank you very much for watching. Some of those shorts videos did very well, which is good to see. Also, if you've received your copy of the new magazine, let me know what you think. Good, bad, or indifferent. I can feed it back to the powers that be. As I say, at the moment, don't know what's going in the next issue. All I do know is Geddy Lee's on the cover, and there'll be an interview with him in the first issue. But other than that, I'm not privy yet because we haven't had our meeting, which will be at some point this week, I think. We've got to discuss what gear's going in. I've got to get prepared for all the filming. Generally, feedback seems to be very positive, so it'll be good. You know, that first sampler issue was it 34 pages? 36? 34. 34 pages. The next one, I think, is around 86 in length, so it's almost like treble the size. But yeah, at the moment, I don't know what's going in, so that's not my department. So, someone else is in charge of that. I just need to get everything ready for the review filming. So, and the stuff that was done for the sampler issue will be up here on this channel in now for 5.5 weeks. So it will be a steady stream. Well, I've got to, there's actually a little bit of modifying I've got to do to the existing videos. Change some of the presentation, add in some extra sections, and then that will be ready. All 4 actually from the sample issue will be going up here on Brooksy's Base Corner. So, Bill, you didn't mention where you're playing in Hunstanton. Is it a private do? Is it a club? Is it an event? Where are you playing? Let's just check that. How are we doing? We have had 60, just hit 80 views for tonight's live chats. Thank you very much if you're watching. Pleasure to have you along. That's all fine. Just check that. Yep, that's all good too. Excellent. So if you got any questions, any comments, anything to do with bass guitars, bass players, gear, you want to talk basses, bass amps, bass effects, strings, maintenance gear. Maybe you're trying to set a bass up. Oh, Richard, there we go. £20 super chat donation. Thank you very much. Let me just do one of those. There we are. Beauty. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good stuff. Thank you, sir. Can't I see that? There we go. Helps if you have the right window open, Mike. There we go. You are playing, young Bill. I can see your message there. Quigley's, an Irish bar, just back from the seafront. That must only be like a little way up the road from the Princess Theatre. So I'm meant to be there on the 19th of April with Uncle Funk, but yeah, we're waiting for this promotional stuff to come from the promo company. It just hasn't arrived yet. Beat after beat, Eddie Trunk just did an interview with John Taylor. It was very good as well. I watched that, really enjoyed it. Mr. Taylor seemed totally on it, which was great. And a very informative interview, I thought. He asked all the right questions. John lives back in England. Yes, he moved back here a couple of years ago. I think the whole Trump thing just freaked him out. And I think they've had enough of being in LA. And they're getting older. Apparently his other half wanted to do the whole English thing. So hope you like winter. It's not LA, that's for sure. Electric Lowen, good to see you. How you doing? How's your dad doing? How are you doing? Get the health questions out of the way early. Bill Derbyshire, pretty much just around the corner. That makes sense. Yeah. Now, tell me, Bill, where is good to eat in Hunstanton? Because I've done 4 or 5 gigs there, and invariably we end up going to some of the chippies around the front. We had pizzas once, and they were awful. Not from the chippy, from an Italian place. They were dreadful. And then after that, we always said, this was in the ABBA band, we'll go and get fish and chips. I don't pick the right places when we go, that's for sure. Because the veggie option was awful. The veggie burger was not good in any sense. And trying to get served is horrendous. But where'd you go and eat in Hunstanton that's decent? DJ Spire, what do I think of John Deacon? Where do you want me to start? Playing a Queen tribute, playing several Queen tributes. He's one of the main reasons I play bass guitar. What do I think of John Deacon? He's an unappreciated bass genius. Yeah, I could wax lyrical about John Deacon for as long as you've got, really. What do you think? Tell me what you think. Um, his bass playing really kind of peaked in the 70s and as they went into the 80s. And then once they got into the whole, the hot space era, Works, Kind of Magic, his bass playing changed, but the band's sound changed. He couldn't have been the bass player he was in the 70s because that type of bass playing would not have fitted in with the material that they did through the 80s. But it's no less appreciated, I can assure you. But I'm a big fan, big fan. And yeah, I can talk about him as long as you want. I wrote a 8-page article for Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player back in 2018 when the Bohemian Rhapsody film came out. And it was a labour of love. We've been saying we were going to do it for ages, and there was nothing to hang it off, which sort of, we could have done it, but it made sense that we actually waited until the film came out, and the timing was perfect. We did a front cover, and the whole article was there to coincide the month of the launch of the film. Couldn't have done it any better, and it came out really good. He liked it. We got that fed back from his accountants. Brian May did us a quote. We did ask Roger for a quote, but he didn't come back with anything. And what I did do, knowing a few years in advance that we were going to do this, was every time I interviewed a name, bass name, I would get them to give me a quote on what they thought of John Deacon's playing. And it made a really, really good article. Richard, that's Mr. Evans there. Update on your Sandberg short scale purchase from a few weeks back. Quickly ticked all my boxes. Is your favourite bass? Very good. Easiest to play that you have and a beast. Very happy. Happy customer. Well done. Electric low end. Daddy's doing really well. Excellent. His cancer levels have gone down. Excellent. Really well too. You are, I hope. And you're doing really good. Good. Keep on that track, I suggest. Beast of a beat. Yes, quite. There we are. He's in the house. Beat crusher. Yeah. So, yeah, that's where I am with John Deacon. I've shared it up here before. I can share it again. For those people who didn't manage to buy a copy of the magazine. Let's see if I do that. Bear me a moment. I will try and find that. So it's not that, is it? It's that. Ah, here we are. You should see it. There we are. It's coming up. Just thinking about it. Here we go. I think I can have a few at a time, I think. There's the quote we got from Brian May. God, it's taking a while. Here we are. Bill Derbyshire, Fossil House Cafe and Restaurant. I will check it out. Here's Zuma. Call off the search party. He's here. He's here. So there's that quote we got from Brian May. Then we have this, of course. All of John Deacon's haircuts here, of course. In all their glory. So I did a breakdown there of every Queen album, pulling out notable tracks, and there wasn't much room. I thought I'd have a little more room, but actually, when you worked it out, we were kind of tied a bit, so everything got truncated. I think my original article was about 6,000 words. Had to get it down to 3,000, You can imagine how much it was literally a hatchet job. And I'd been writing this article on and off for about 2 years. And then when I got the green light, it was like, right, got to go into this and wield the scalpel a bit. But it came out great. Probably the piece of work I'm most proud of for the mag. And then here's the bit with the quotes. Like I said. So we had, oh God, I can't even read that. Lee Sklar, Mark King, Billy Sheehan, Nathan East, Neil Fairclough, of course, Neil Murray, Paul Turner, Phil Spalding, rest in peace, young Phil, and Dave Swift. And it came out really good. Oh, Stacey Ann, thank you for your super chat contribution. Get you. Thank you very much. I need to find where you are. So you'll be on the mobile. So I need to go into there. There we go. And onto there. More adverts, of course. Thank you. And I can go into there, and there she is. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. For those of you who are wondering what they've just done, they've used the super chat facility to donate to the channel, which will keep us going. It will all get ploughed straight back into the channel, gets ploughed into the subscriptions and all the stuff that, all the things you see here on the channel all gets paid for out of this channel's pocket. So thank you very much. If you want to use that facility, if you go to the bottom of the live chat window, you'll see a rectangle with a dollar symbol in, and that's called Super Chat. You click on it, it allows you to make a financial chat. I did quite well. That's an hour and 13 minutes without a slip up. Just check her in. If you wish to make a financial donation to the channel, you can do so using Super Chat. And there's also the Super Thanks facility that exists on every single video here on the channel, of course. Thank you very much, you two, for those donations. Much appreciated. There we go. There. Fabulous. Happy to do it. Thank you very much. Thanking you. Merch and affiliate links are in the description box below. As I say, Super Chat and Super Thanks are already here on the video. Super Chat is in the live chat window, a dollar symbol in a rectangle. That allows you to make a financial contribution to the channel. Super Thanks exists on the icons underneath the video window in a love heart with a dollar symbol in. Don't forget to give the video and live chat a thumbs up, please, folks. Thumbs ups for the win. Thank you in advance. If you're watching after the event, feel free to leave comments in the comments section, and I will respond to them as soon as I get notification from YouTube that you've left one. There we go. Oh, good. Splendid. I did that, didn't I? I thought I did that. There we go. Thank you very much, Stace. Splendid job. Has your magazine appeared yet? You haven't mentioned it to me, so I'm guessing it hasn't. I can't remember if Zuma ordered the paper-based magazine, or did you go for the digital one? I can't remember. Digital subscription. We're talking about the magazine. If you are interested in it, there's a subscription link in the description box which is tied into the channel. So if you take out a magazine subscription, the analytics team at the publisher and the subscription house will see that it comes from my channel. And in a year's time, when these subscriptions come up for renewal, you're going to get a cheaper resubscription price because you use the Brooksy's Base Corner link. So that will be a thing. Stacey, the magazine hasn't arrived yet, but you're camped out by the post box. I'd go back in if I... It could be some time. I would hope those start appearing this week. I mean, it'll be 3 weeks on Wednesday since they were shipped. So it's a little disconcerting, but I know how second-hand, what am I talking about? Second-class post can be dealt with overseas, and it can take quite a while. So we'll see. But I would hope they're with you by this time next week. If you've got any questions, any comments, fire away. US mail can be sketchy. Well, it'll be sketchy based on UK second-class post. So it'll have taken a while to get out of the country, that's for sure. And then when it gets to you guys, gets there when it gets there, I guess. By the time you get it, the first issue will be out. That's due on June the 5th. We ship issue 1. And we've had, let's just see here. Where are they? There they are. We're just coming up on 100 views for tonight's live chat. Thank you very much if you're tuning in. Good to see you. Thank you for come spend some time over here on Brooksy's Base Corner. Things mailed to go 2 states away vertically, magically. You press send accidentally, I guess. Oh, we got top fans here. Stacey's in the lead, actually. Apparently. Oh, is that? Hang on, that's a different stream. Let me see. Ah, yes. So, there are top fans both for the horizontal feed and the vertical feed. Young Richard's in the lead on the horizontal, and Stacey's in the lead for the vertical. There we go. Ah, there we go. Things mailed to go 2 states away, vertically, magically go left, right, and centre. Right, okay. All round the houses. Oh, one of my shorts has just spiked. Wow. 12 views in 60 seconds. I'll take that. I'll take that. Great. Stacey, you're going between streams. I thought you might be. You can like the 2 separate feeds. Very clever. Well done. Super stuff. Here's a little tip for you, Beat, if you're still watching. Put emoji icons in your shorts titles. It's a thing, apparently. Ah, you are there. Yes, put emoji icons in your shorts titles. Richard, someone else can take your place. Need to head to Nottingham, but will be listening in while you're in the car. Have a lovely week. Take it easy. Thank you for your super chat donation. Very much appreciate. Safe travels. There we go. Zoom that back in. Very good. There we are. Beat, what kind of emoji for a music channel? Okay, if you're on desktop, you're on vertical, you're on mobile. If you're at your desktop, I don't know if you use Windows or if you're on Mac or whatever. On Windows, you press the Windows key and a full stop, and it takes you into the emojis. So I tend to use for bass stuff. There's a guitar, there's music, notes, there's a treble clef. If I'm talking about gig stories, I might have a car or a van on there. If I'm doing workbench videos, the old hammer and spanner, that sort of thing. There's loads of different things, as you would use in WhatsApp messages. You can do all that within the titles for shorts. Don't do it in regular long form. Well, you don't tend to do long form video, but vertical streams, vertical shorts. I keep seeing it being repeated and repeated on the YouTube educators videos. Use emojis in your shorts. Whether it has any effect, I don't know. It can't harm it, but if it's has an effect within the algorithm, then just do it. It could well be in 6 months it doesn't. It's not a thing. In which case you can just go through and take them back out. But yeah, if you scroll down the different emojis, it works the same as WhatsApp emojis. You'll see there's different instruments and all the regular stuff. So you've got faces, you've got food, you've got hobbies, lifestyle, flags, animals, all of that sort of thing. You're on desktop and mobile, but do your shorts off your phone. Okay, I don't know how you access the emojis then on a phone. Google it, I guess. I'll do it for you. How do I access emojis on a mobile phone? Access emojis on a mobile phone by tapping the smiley face icon on your keyboard, typically located near the spacebar or within a toolbar above the letters. On both Android and iPhone, this opens a panel to select search and insert emojis into text fields with an ABC button to return to typing. There you go. In fact, I can copy and paste that. I can, if you want that, young man. You have Android, so do I. There you go. Toasted Sandwich, all this stuff about playing the algorithm feels like it cheapens it. I suppose the bills need paying. Mate, I don't make the rules. I wish I did. If you, well, okay. Here on my channel, I've got over 1,000 videos. Every time the algorithm changes and these things change, I have to go in and manually make those changes. There's no program that goes into all the back end of every video. Like if I change affiliate links for Amazon or THOMANN or ANDERTONS or the other affiliates, I have to go in manually to every single video and do it. Okay, I don't have to. I use this to make a living. So I have to optimize all of the videos and the back end stuff in order to make it work. I'm not doing this for a hobby. This isn't like an ego massage for me. I do this to make money. This is an alternative income stream to being a musician. So yes, maybe you feel it cheapens it. You've got to play the game. Got to play the game. And this stuff changes all the time. All the time. Last year, we just got into summer, middle of June, I found out by complete chance that doing a live stream, live chat, not horizontal, but a vertical live stream, generated thousands and thousands of views that I wouldn't normally get on a live stream. We started to run the regular Tuesday live streams as vertical feeds with no horizontal feed. And for a while, for a couple of months, it got some serious results for my channel. It doesn't work anymore. Vertical feed live chats are no more watched than the horizontal. But for a period, probably about 3 or 4 months, YouTube was promoting vertical live streams. Now, at the moment, it's shorts is the big push at the moment. Shorts and long form that's optimized for TV viewing. So generally 30 minutes to an hour. Optimized long form content that people will watch on TVs, and shorts is the big thing. B, ATI, see the emojis on your keyboard. Hey, I don't know what ATI means. Are you saying you do see emojis on your keyboard on your phone screen, or you don't? I shall await your response, sir. Come out of that. Let me come out of that too. Toasted sandwich, yeah, just makes me miss early YouTube where the incentive was to make the videos people would enjoy the most, but these days it's unsustainable. It's unsustainable because there's so much, pardon my language, tripe out there, and you are wading through. If I'd done this channel, if I'd started this channel, say, round when Zuma started his, 2007, I could have tapped into all of the stuff I had coming through from the magazines. I would have hundreds of gear reviews up here on the channel. Hundreds, probably approaching 1,000. I would have been able to, as stuff came out, we used to get the exclusives on all the Music Man stuff. I had anniversary instruments here before they were anywhere near the shops, like a month or two before. We would get amp launches, pedal launches, bass launches, all the stuff we used to do. Imagine if I'd had a channel and filmed all the stuff that we got up to at the London bass shows. I mean, this channel would be just, it would have ballooned. And I get exactly what you're saying. I wish as a YouTube creator, I could work in that environment, but I'm competing against millions of channels, and you have to, I mean, you know, I'm constantly watching what are the trends, what's happening, what's, you know, videos that other people are doing. I don't go and watch other channels, but if things pop up in my YouTube feed and it's like you start to see consistent patterns where might be a certain font people are using or a certain text overlay that gets used, or formatting. Sometimes you just have to pick up on those things to sort of catch the tail end of it's almost like surfing a wave, and you've got to try and get on it and get to the peak of it before it drops. Now, sometimes I go through phases where I'm not following anything and I'll just plow through the work. But at the moment, certainly since we came into this year, since Christmas and New Year, something has changed within the algorithm, because the long form content just isn't. We've only got 5,200 subscribers here on the channel, but my long form content isn't getting in excess of 500, 600 views when I'm putting up a new video. So the fact that the shorts are going supernova, the idea is you link those shorts to those videos, and that will then point people towards that long form content. None of it's a given. And a lot of it, I feel, they say you got to be consistent. Well, there are YouTubers who are very consistent, putting videos up once or twice a week, every week for months on end, they don't get anywhere. So there has to be a way for all of us to, if we're doing this, you've got to take the little shortcuts if you can, but there's no guarantees to any of it. None of it's, if it was guaranteed, it'd be easy and everyone would be doing it. You've got geniuses on this planet trying to work it all out. You can't work out the algorithm. All you can do is, from my point of view, is best practice. Do things in a consistent manner. And if there are trends or topics or subjects that are generating a lot of interest, you can kind of put your feet into it and soak some of it up, but there's no guarantee. And then you look at things like people having viral videos, and if you knew how to do it, everyone would be doing it. But I mean, where I'm using AI at the moment to try and work out what are the trends within shorts and the trends within long form that are generating most searches and most interest. But then you can have a video that conforms to all the things, and you've got a title that's hits 100, description hits 100, thumbnail gets 100. You put it out at the right time that YouTube is telling you you've got to put the video up at that time. It's when you have your most viewers, and blah, blah, blah. You do it and it does nothing. And that's the disheartening things. You tick all the boxes and it still falls flat. So what am I meant to do? How can I get it to that next? It's almost like you're walking up a hill. You think you get there, and then suddenly there's a bigger peak, and now you got to get to that. And it's an onward. It is what it is. But we'll try. Yeah, try and do the videos people would enjoy the most. Look, I did a multi-episode string experiment series that I thought people might be interested. Not in strings is a great subject to pick, but they'd be interested in the gig footage and the journey, and it never ever took off at all in any sense. It might do one day. I don't know. It's there. The way I see every YouTube video I put up is it's an invite for YouTube to go and do its thing, put it in front of people that might enjoy it. And if I get some success at it, great. If not, I just keep making another video. Keep going. Keep going. Beat your work out the emoji thing. Very good. Stacey, it certainly tests one's ability to harness the nuances of the most incremental changes, and it's 100% a real job doing it. It is. I sometimes wonder if I didn't do it as a job and I just stuck videos up willy-nilly, I do better. I don't know. The thing that makes this channel is the community. So as the live chats have developed over 5 years, and you guys keep coming back week after week, and we build our chats, and we get involved and all that, that is something you can't buy. You know, some of these channels with huge numbers don't have what we have here on this live chat, and the community aspect of Brooksy's Space Corner. So hopefully over time, as the channel grows and the videos get better and hopefully more successful, then there will be benefits that come all of your way by taking out the magazine subscriptions and the affiliate links and all of that. I would hoped that would have been a quicker process than it has been. But then again, as I've said a few times, 2022 was the year following when I monetized. And what happened? My hard drive went down. I got COVID. I was relentlessly busy with gigs. And so the channel had to take a back seat for about 6 to 8 months because I simply could not keep up with the rate of video production as I had done while we were in lockdown. But recovering from the hard drive going down was the biggest thing, because I just built up a routine of production, and that hard drive got wiped. Now, thankfully, I had a backup, and I had backed up like 2 weeks earlier. So everything that I'd done previously was on there. But it was really off-putting. I had to find a new backup schedule, really, to make sure that if that disc went down, and it hasn't, touch wood, that I wouldn't have a repeat of that. So yeah, it's all fun and larks. I can assure you. Stacey, I'm one of those geniuses, but I didn't want to say. Oh, very good. Toasty sandwich. Yeah, I feel most of the viral videos are so successful because it's doing something no one else does. No, I don't agree with that. Some of the viral videos tap into. It's almost like they're playing the algorithm. Some things just take off because people get behind it. If you can tap that, I mean, you look at some of the younger creators and they get huge numbers of views because they're tapping into stuff that appeals to that age group, that age range. Now, me being a slightly older gent, I can't tap into what the teenagers and the, late teens and early 20s, I'll be a turn off for that because I've got grey hair and I've got miles on the clock. But what I've always tried to do with this channel is, certainly with the reviews and demos, they're honest. No one, if there's something wrong with some gear that comes here for a review, if it's bad, I'll say it's bad. If there's something wrong, I'll say it's wrong. I'm not at anyone's beck and call on this channel. My thoughts are my own. But I try and produce stuff that might help people, might educate them a bit. The original premise of the channel was to create a library of demos and reviews for people to refer to. And I realized after about 4 months that I had to broaden that view. I couldn't just stick at that because the channel would go nowhere. And then it would be just a hobby channel. I wouldn't make really any money out of it. And I see this as something I'm going to do for 20, 25 years as I'm getting older and gigs start to wind down in number. I'm not gigging 200 times a year like I used to. But, we plod on, we carry on. The problem is, like with gear, a new piece of gear comes out, every channel covers it. So how do you, if like we've only got 5,200 subscribers, getting the video out first before anyone else doesn't necessarily guarantee you the views. So you can be chasing all the new gear as it comes out. It doesn't mean you're going to get, it's not, some of it might work, most of it probably won't. So now, and trying to keep up to that sort of schedule is very difficult. You'll put yourself in hospital and you'll burn out. So I do things at my pace as I feel like I can do it. If the channel had to go on a hiatus for a month while I was busy, then so be it. But I try my best. Most people love the drama videos. Yes, yeah. Following the trend just leaves you in the ocean of other videos. Yeah, true. Toasty, you definitely finding a niche really makes your channel special. I don't even know if I've got a niche, to be fair. There are other channels doing far more stuff. They have teams behind them. They can knock videos out one a day, every day. I can't do that. I could, but it would be really scrappy videos. And wouldn't that be a thing if I put a load of ranked videos out and they did better than anything else I've done? Maybe I should do that as an experiment, see how it goes. There's a big chunk that's just being in the right place at the right time. It's exactly that. It's exactly that. Stacey, you'll never go wrong with authenticity. I am what I am. For those poor souls who've met me in person, what you see on camera is exactly what you get in real life. So, yeah. You can't pretend to be something you're not doing this, because eventually you will meet people who follow you online and what have you. And if there's a pretense, ain't going to work. And I'm too old to be trying to act like I'm 25. So ask Leo. He met me 2 weeks ago. All he's ever seen is me on screen for best part of 2 years. And I'm sure he'll say I'm exactly how I seem on screen. There's no difference there. But yeah, I take you on the journey, you know, all the gigs and the gig vlogs and all that sort of thing. I just think it's interesting for you guys to see it because Leo's not 12, he's 16. Um, what was I saying? Doing the gig vlogs, and you actually see all the sitting around and the boredom time. There's loads of that. If I could just turn up to gigs and go on and play and go, that'd be really good. There are times that does happen. There have been times that has happened, but it's the time you've got to kill. That's actually more draining than anything. Gigs are easy. It's the hanging about and the travelling that wears you out. But yeah, it's a funny old life. It's a funny old career. But I'm hoping, like with the mag now, a lot of the opportunities that will be coming back my way. Um, I know how those situations pan out, so I can prepare for filming. I can prepare to shoot really good videos for it. So, you know, if I end up doing any of the interviews, which at the moment I don't think I will be, I think my editor's going to be doing the bulk of that. But if I do, then clearly there'll be stuff that's going to get videoed, and some of those base celebs I might well be able to talk into coming on here and doing interviews for the channel too. So we will see. We might get Lee Sklar back on. You never know. You never know. Right. It's coming up to 7:45 here in London town. If you've just tuned in, you're very welcome. We're talking bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, great bass players, guitar maintenance, setting basses up, setting pedal boards up. If I can offer any help or advice, let me know. Post your comments in the live chat window and I will do my very best. What's that? I see a blue dot on there. What's that? Zuma has arrived. It's time to party. Quite. Quite. Young Zuma, how's that Rio video coming along? We need a weekly update here. Let us know. Exactly, Beat. Let's go, Zuma. Come on. I can't offer any insight into it because I'm not the one editing it. Was that 4 weeks ago we did that? 4? No, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. I thought that was a bit long for a month. No, it was 3 weeks ago because it was the weekend when I did the bass show. That's right. We filmed one bit on the Sunday after the live chat, and we were recording the night before when I got home from the bass show. Correct. So have you got any questions? Anything you want to talk about base-wise? Put in the live chat window, press send, and we will discuss it. What's coming up on your channel, Beat? What are you? What videos have you got coming up? I think Zoom has sloped off, hasn't he? He sloped off for an early lunch. Nothing, just more shorts. Okay. What are your numbers like? Toasted sandwich. Oh, yeah, speaking of bases, I feel like my base might have a bit too much string height down near the body, okay? I don't have much of a frame of reference of what it should be at. String height, so, right, there's a process for doing this. So you can either just make adjustments at the bridge and get it to a point that you're happy with it with regard to the amount of buzz and how it feels to play. The other alternative is to measure the neck relief, make any changes to the truss rod in terms of adjusting the truss rod, which will make the fingerboard sit how it should be. You make those adjustments, then you deal with the bridge and the string action. You then deal with the pickup height, and then you do the intonation and any other adjustments you need to do. Beat after beat, you have over 415 shorts, 2,000 subs. Well done, sir. Excellent. Good. So it's up to you, Toasted Sandwich. You can take one of two approaches. You can either just do it by feel and what works for you and an Allen key at the bridge, or you can take a more considered approach and you'll need to measure the neck relief and then work out what adjustment you need to make to the truss rod, and then again adjust at the bridge, adjust the pickup height, do the intonation, check that all the frets are seated fine, also check that the nut height is correct and that the way the nut is cut makes a difference. What bass have you got, Toasted Sandwich? I mean, it's very easy to make adjustments at the bridge. What you don't want to do is go too low and you end up with lots of fret buzz. But again, more often than not, a significant amount of fret buzz is due to the neck relief. So you can either get a happy medium where you drop the height a little and try to avoid the buzz, or you go belt and braces in and you do the neck relief adjustments and the bridge and. Yet there's a lot of places to adjust and they all move it in a different way. Yeah. Well, again, what bass have you got? Beat after beat, 31,000 views in the last 28 days. Don't knock it. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not sure what I've had in the last 28 days. Let's have a quick. It's constantly changing. I've had 39,000 in the last 28 days. In the last 7 days, I've had 16,000. But again, up until last weekend, I hadn't been doing much shorts stuff. I'd been concentrating on long form. As soon as I dangle my foot back into the shorts waters, it all sort of kicks in again. So These are the different things, you see. The only thing with shorts, obviously, but you're not doing this to earn money, are you? So shorts is fine, but you just won't make a lot of money for it. I do shorts, or I focus on the shorts to get people over onto the long form stuff. But there we go. Toasted sandwich. It's made by a local guitar maker. Don't really have a model number. Okay. What's the maker? What's the guitar maker? Beat, you have 148,000 views in total. Good work. Good work. Zuma, sorry, might have been in and out of the house. That's all right. I'm back for the home stretch. Okay. Beat, you take Cash App donations. Understood. Understood. Let's just check, that's all. Okay. See how many people we've got watching the live chat. We have had is that 95, 160 views. Thank you very much, folks. Much appreciated. If you're a regular viewer, thank you for coming back. It's all good. Beat, you don't ask for much. That's okay. You're on disability. I go to the food pantry. It's all good. I mean, I know what your shorts are. Is there anything you could add into your content that would allow you to do long form, and then you can tap into the mid-roll ads, and that could generate some extra money? Or even doing like some merch that you could sell off the back of your shorts. Would that help? Maybe even doubling up with your videos, putting them on TikTok. That might be a thing. Zuma, I made some serious headway with our vid. Oh, excellent. Good. How long do you think it's going to be in terms of running length? Because I know most of them were an hour, but I know we filmed nearly 3 hours worth. So if it's the thing to bear in mind, Zuma, the longer the video, the more ads go into it, and YouTube likes a long video. So if it can be 2 hours or more, if the content's good enough, then make it 2 hours. Don't cut it down because you feel like you have to. As I find on the live chat, sometimes we kind of hit a brick wall in views, and then if I run longer, suddenly the views shoot up because YouTube goes, oh, we'll feed this out to more. What's this? Your crowd beat are too poor to donate. Okay. Zuma, as soon as this ends, it's more Vegas Pro studio time. Right, okay. Beat after beat, I'll be doing unboxings of CDs, cassettes, and vinyl soon. Excellent. Good stuff. Yeah, having some variation on your channel is good because it throws your regular viewers a curveball, and they may tap into the different branches sort of that you go off into in terms of content. Okay, Zuma, are you challenging me? Voice of Beavis. No, sir. Toasted Sandwich. His name is Andy Taylor. His site is a page about the bass. Not sure if I can post a link. Sadly, you can't. No, viewers can't post links. But I would just look at the bridge first. Just take each string down. So if you're happy with how the strings are in relation to the curvature of the fingerboard, take them all down. Well, first of all, make sure your bridge saddles are flat. Don't have wonky bridge saddles like that. It's like driving on one side of a car's wheel. Yeah, keep your saddles flat and reduce them all down by 1 turn of the bolt on each side. So take all the strings down by 1 turn. Then you've got a measure of, is that too low, just about right, or are they still too high? And if they're still too high, take them down another turn, but at least you've got something to work against if you're not going to do neck relief. But eventually you'll get to a point where string height results in lots of buzz. So then you've got to say, well, is it a problem with the fret? Is it the neck relief? Or is it just that the string is too low? In which case, bring it up a 1/2 turn, back up, test it again. Is it buzzing? If it is, it's going to need to go back up a 1/2 turn. And if it's not, then leave it where it is, because another 1/2 turn and it'll be too low. That's kind of what you're going to need to do. Or you can take it to a luthier, of course, or a guitar or bass shop and let them do a setup, but it's going to cost you money. B after B, I'm reopening your record store on eBay. Excellent. New arrivals to show people on YouTube. Superb. George Iliardis, good to see you all the way from Australia. Hope you're well, sir. Hope all is good down there. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock here in London. Live chat 158 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. No less. So the short I put up just, what was that, 35 minutes before we went live. It's now doing some things. I can see it on the analytics. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've been investigating a few shorts things lately, so in the past few days. So if you want to check these out, you can. Feel free. I'll put them in here. There's one. There's two. And there's number 3. Check them out at your leisure if you so wish. Zuma, you're at 50 minutes and we're barely talking about Hold Back the Rain. Let it go for 2 hours. The thing is, right, my vested interest is to get you over that monetized line. If you put that video at 2 hours and people are clocking in at an hour or more watching it, and to be fair, the people that are watching it are the ones that have watched the previous episodes and they're loving it. Give them 2 hours. Give them 2 hours. And think of all the shorts you can remix out of it as well. Go for 2 hours, mate. Don't cut it back. Anything between an hour and a half and 2 hours, super. Give them something to watch. We can always do a revised cut down version. If people start going, oh, I'm not watching for 2 hours, they can watch it at double speed. They'll finish it in an hour. Go for longer. Longer's better. Really. Because you'll also be tapping into more mid-roll ads. Go for it. Go for it. As you know, we could talk the hind legs off a donkey, both of us, so it's all good. Clayton Flanders, just found your live chat. Thank you. Good PM to you from Canada. Hey, good to see you. Fast question for you. That's all right. I'll take slow questions as well. What can you do to keep improving your fretless bass skills? Ho, ho, ho. Very topical question, because there's going to be a series coming up on the channel, which I've been promising for 3 years. But I've got it all scripted. But the filming, I'm going to wait until our extension, which means I'm going to have a new studio, is finished. And then I will film it so it all has a consistent look. I couldn't film it in here. It's too cramped. But that series will start appearing, I would imagine, August, September time. It's all scripted, ready to go. But I'm going to film it when the new studio is ready. So how can you keep improving your fretless bass skills? Well, keep playing. If you're gigging as a musician, then keep taking your fretless out and using it. The thing with fretless is, if you don't play it consistently and regularly, it's like any other thing. It's like being an athlete and being a runner, and you don't run for 6 months. Your body changes. So in fretless playing terms, your fingers change. How you intonate, your fretless technique. How can you keep improving? The problem is, unless you're in a band or working with an artist that wants fretless bass, usually they don't want fretless bass. They want fretted bass. So really your opportunity there is, well, can I make the band allow me to use fretless, or am I resigned to just using it at sound checks and what have you? If you're an artist, or if you're playing with an artist, or you're in a band where you can, and look, as I mentioned on last week's step-in video, Bob Skeet, who gave me my second dep opportunity and ended up giving me loads of opportunity, he predominantly used a 5-string Warwick thumb fretless for years, and he had other fretless basses. The bands he was in and the artists he was working for, it was totally the right sound. But he wasn't playing fretless like a virtuoso soloist. He was playing as a bass player that keeps the band locked in. And I've got recordings of Bob. I've got him on albums as well. And his fretless playing is so tasty in the parameter of being a regular bass player. But doing that meant that his fretless skills were always constantly simmering away. But I'm sure if I gave him a fretless now and say, off you go then, and he's playing with Wishbone Ash, things that he could have done 20, 30 years ago now wouldn't be quite as fluid. They wouldn't be so instant in his playing repertoire, maybe. So the only way you can keep improving is to keep doing it and putting yourself into musical situations where you can do that. A lot of the time, like a lot of the bands I've played with, I couldn't use a fretless bass in the disco band I play in. I can't use a fretless bass in the Queen tributes. Probably could use the fretless in an ABBA thing, but they invariably want it to sound like the record. And fretless, for all of its wonderful idiosyncrasies, does not fit every musical genre and style. But then again, who would have thought that Buzz Burrell would have got away with playing fretless all those years in Bad Company? But he did. So it's finding opportunities you can use it in. I mean, you can sit and play at home and practice at home, and that's fine, but it's not real world. So you've got to find a way to be able to use those fretless skills somewhere. Now, I keep saying, well, I want to learn fretless because I've never done it and I'm going to do it. But there's never been a single opportunity in my playing career. Now, I could have forced the issue and said, well, I want to play fretless in some of the musical environments I've been in. But I've never been in a situation where someone says, we really need you to play fretless, or could we have fretless on this track? It's never happened. And I'm a professional for 31 years. So, you've either got to force the issue and say, well, I'd really like to use fretless in this band or on this gig or what have you. Otherwise, you're just playing at home, and, home's fine, but then take it out on a stage. Does it come across? Not just fretless, but things like tapping, slapping, technical playing can all sound great at home. You get it out on a stage and no one can hear what you're doing. So that would be, I'm more than happy for people to contribute to this. So if you've got another perspective on it, then go for it. Beat after beat, you put Zoom's Duran Duran videos in your Duran Duran creative playlist all the time. There he goes. Yeah, he does. Beats the man. He is, and he also wants your t-shirt collection. Toasty Sandwich, I'll definitely try to tune into the fretless stuff. Been wanting to get into it. It will be coming. I've scripted it all out. I've done 10 episodes. I just need a consistent background to film in. So when my studio's ready, that's where it's all going to happen. Toasty Sandwich, I think my issue could be in the neck joint. Was just trying to take some measurements, and I heard the neck move. And my action at 12th fret has jumped up by about 0.5 mil. I would take the neck off and see if there are any neck shims. If you don't know what a neck shim is, it's what people put in the neck pocket. So without the shims, the neck goes in, screws go in and anchor the neck And that's it. If you put a shim in, it raises the fingerboard up because the neck pocket then isn't on the neck isn't attached on the bottom part. There's actually something sitting between the base of the neck pocket. Then you got the shim, then you got the neck. So it gives you more height. I've got them on a couple of my basses where certain instruments have been made, and in the neck pocket, it's very hard to get the bridge low enough so it doesn't feel like hard work. So you put some neck shims in, usually 2 hard bits of, like, I'll have old credit cards or debit cards or something like that. It's a plastic material, and I'll stick it in very thin, stick 2 in, reattach the neck, and that normally does it. And I can find a happy medium to get the strings right. It's not ideal, but people have been shimming necks since the 60s. So, you know, it's not against the law. Beat after beat, I hear free t-shirts from Zuma. Yeah, he's got a new cat to look after at the moment. Toasty Sandwich, yeah, I pulled the same face when I heard it. Yeah, I bet you did. Yeah, it's always a little disconcerting when you hear sounds coming from a neck pocket. Yeah, I hear you. Zuma, when I do my t-shirt special... teeth in. Hey! Right, when I do my t-shirt special episode, I will dedicate it to you, Beat. That's about all you're getting of mine. He's a hard man, isn't he? That's hard but lovable. With a voice for voiceover work, of course. Keep saying this. It is just coming up 8:10 here in London. All is good. Just checking the views. We what's that? 175 views. Thank you very much. If you're checking us out for the first time, you're very welcome. We're here every Sunday. Although there's a couple of Sundays coming up in April where that might not be the case. We'll either have to go very early or we'll do it another day. We will see. I will keep you posted on that. Stream health. That one's good. 109. Yeah. Good. Beat, you're a kind man, Zoo. Yeah. Hard but fair, I've heard. Beat, you take extra large. Very good. Yeah. So, yeah, next couple of days are a little frantic. Got a few things going on. I'll tell you about tomorrow next week. Tuesday, I've got a lot of song learning to do. I've got Oasis on Wednesday in Bracknell. It should be a blast. And then it's video production Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Full pelt. And we got Uncle Funk gigs on the horizon. We've got Queen gigs on the horizon. Lots of bits and bobs sort of flying in, which is great. So it's going to be a lively summer. I know that much. I'll be able to do some impromptu live chats when we're out on the festivals, of course. We go. Right, we're up to date on all the messages, I think. Don't forget, folks, we've got the super chat option at the bottom of the live chat section. There's a rectangle with a dollar symbol in. That's called super chat. Allows you to make a financial donation to the channel if you wish to do so. Merch links are in the description box below underneath the video window, as are affiliate links for THOMANN, Amazon, VIDIQ, Top Cashback, and the Bass Center. Have a new bass to show. Well, it's not mine. I have a bass to show you. So you'll know I had the Neil Murray Snakebite basses here for some considerable amount of time. So they've gone back. There's something else here. Let me show you. Oh, gotta get it out of the bag first. So we have a very nice Bruce Thomas profile bass here from the Bass Centre. How's that grabbing you? Very nice. There's a demo of one already here on the channel, which I did a couple of years ago as we were coming out of lockdown. And I was going to use that footage for the review. And then I thought, you know what? Just get the bass or a bass back from the Bass Centre and do a new video. So I will. So there'll be a review and a new demo up very, very shortly. And actually, I might aim to do that this week once the Oasis gig is out of the way. It's very nice. Red and tortoise shell. I know it's one of the newer ones, I think, 'cause the back plate's got the, which you can't, there you go. It's got the laser etched Bass Centre logo, but very nice. And these are not expensive. These are about, in fact, rather than me guessing, they used to be $495, but they're not that price now. But let me just get you the correct price before we start spouting nonsense. Profile bass is in the UK 645, which includes your VAT. Worldwide price 537.50. Available in salmon pink. There's a left-handed salmon pink, and then there's also a colour called Solar Flare, and that's more like a sunburst, tobacco sunburst, and that's same price. All very nice, but I'll give you the lowdown when I get the video done. But they are great, and I really enjoyed the one I had here for demo 4 or 5 years ago. So, yeah. Let me have a look on that spec. I'm not sure if that's rosewood or ebony, that board. Let's have a look, shall we? Fingerboard is ebony with pearloid dot markers, 20 medium nickel fret, satin finish neck, salmon pink polyurethane gloss with tortoiseshell pickguard, basswood body, okay, chrome retro roller bridge with knurled saddles for string width adjustment. Yep, they are. 40mm nut width. String spacing is 19.5, about 4.1 kilograms in weight. Yeah, all very good. All very good. Let's see. Clayton, thanks for answering your question. I look forward to when you bring your Fretless videos out. Thank you very much. Beat after beat. Wow. There we go. All good. All good. So I'll try and get that video up by the end of the week with a bit of luck. I'll give you the lowdown. Very nice bases for the money. There are affiliate links in the description box below for Bass Centre purchases. So if you're thinking about buying one of those or the Neil Murray snake bites, Betsy, you can help me. I get an affiliate kickback if you buy anything from the Bass Centre and use those links. So thank you very much. Something's kicking off. It is. It's the short that I put up earlier. Suddenly ratcheted up 500 views. Very good. Live chat. We are 181 views. Thank you very much. Good work, folks. you've got any questions, any comments, put them in the live chat window and I will deal with them as soon as you send them through. If I can help at all. Bass playing, bass gear, anything you want to ask about that's here on the channel, feel free. Don't forget to give the video, this live chat, a thumbs up, please, folks. If you'd be so kind, it makes a big difference. Really helps with the video, pushes it through the algorithm. Then the algorithm loves it and it pushes it out to more bass players and we get more people come on and then we tap into more knowledge and it's all that momentum. Got any questions about the Bruce Thomas profile? Fire away. So I'm just checking out the bass center bass prices. Okay. Beat after beat, 18 thumbs ups. There we go. All good. All good. Right. It is 20 past 8 here in London. Live chat 158. 158 of these. It's crazy. It's crazy. If you add in all the impromptu live chats as well, we're well over 200. Crazy stuff. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Here's the thing. So since Christmas, we've been running on horizontal and vertical, running at the same time. How few nutcases we've had in. We used to get at least a couple every live chat that would come in on the vertical stream and just be mad, like out there, wackos. We don't really get those anymore. We had one earlier. He's gone. We just don't seem to get them. And again, this proves that YouTube is not promoting vertical live streams at the moment. Well, I wonder if it's a seasonal thing. If they do it again in the summer, and I'll test it. If they do it again in the summer, then we know it's a seasonal thing. Ah, Zoomer. Here's a little thing. Stacey will know about this because I mentioned it to her last night. So one of the things I was watching yesterday when I was going through old gigs on the hard drive on my TV, I had Serious Moonlight, David Bowie, 1983 from Vancouver. Really good gig. Tony Thompson drumming. Do I get Cause Banquet? Not that I'm aware of. What's the banquet part? Over here we get Cause and Cause Light. I don't think Cause Banquet. What's the difference? Anyway, back to what I was saying before I was interrupted. Tony Thompson on drums with Bowie. Now, you and I both know, and other Duran lovers will know, that John Taylor has described playing with Tony Thompson as like trying to ride a wild horse. because he can just go off tempo wise, and he always needed Bernard and Niall to rein him in. So I'm watching this Serious Moonlight gig. Let me just see if I can find a link like I did earlier for the Bootsy Collins. Right, hang on. You can tell me. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, I think that is it. So there are multiple videos, but basically this is it. So it's made up of multiple videos. Yeah, that's the one. So if I give you this, yeah, there it is. It's all in order as well. So I'm watching this, and it's really good. And Carmine Rojas is outstanding on bass with his ESP, and the band's great. Tony Thompson is shocking. I'm a big Tony Thompson fan, but my godfathers, what is he doing? So, literally every time he does a roll or a motif out of a section, it's like 3 times as fast as it needs to be, and he never comes back in on one. It's like, and now David Bowie was a consummate artist. He had some lapses in taste, but most geniuses do. He was a perfectionist more often than not. Having Tony Thompson live on drums must have done his nutting, because unless on that performance Tony was coked up, maybe, but how that got through editing and people didn't say, do you know what, we need to go in and re-record the drum track, this is not good, you're putting this out as a video that people could buy. Oh my word. And now I get it. And I always thought, surely he wasn't that bad, because we've heard him do all the Chic stuff, we've heard him do Power Station, what have you. He did loads of name tours, lots of work with big names. But my godfathers, it's not good. Not good. If I'd been the bass player in that band, you'd have had to have said something. And I'm surprised. I even searched on Google, did David Bowie ever criticize Tony Thompson's drumming? And it said, no, there are no openly known examples of David Bowie criticizing Tony Thompson. Good Lord. It was, I mean, I'm not sure I could have done it for a whole world tour. Yeah, you'd have done it because it was Bowie and the money and but someone must have said something. They must have done. I can't imagine no one said anything. It's really not good. I mean, the tone is great. I can, the tone of the drums is great, but his rolls and he was all over the place. The rest of the band were nailing it. The guitarists were nailing it. Keyboard player was Dave LeBolt. He's totally on it. The horn section's fab. Tony Thompson. I didn't know he could be that random in his playing, but clearly that was a thing. But yeah, not good. Not good. But check it out on that link if you want, and you'll hear what after about 5 songs, you'll think, yeah, I get it. Yeah, Zuma, not the best, sadly. Not the best. Not even close. Not even close. Tony is a heavy drum. Heavy and wrong, I think, is... and I've known... I know drummers now who are loud, heavy, and wrong. You need to get rid of one of those aspects. But yeah, coke is a hell of a drug. I can't imagine he played like that the whole tour. There would have been some serious words. Yeah. But check it out. Check it out. See what you think. Maybe I'm overreading it, but I can't believe no one picked up on it in rehearsals. And Carlos Alomar was the MD. and they got rid, right, so on that tour, the guitarist before Earl Slick got given the job was meant to be Stevie Ray Vaughan, and they were doing rehearsals in Manhattan, and it became very evident that Stevie Ray Vaughan and his team were literally going off for drug breaks constantly. Bowie and someone else in that, Bowie and someone else weren't at the rehearsals, and Bowie was in Europe when Bowie's manager and Stevie Ray Vaughan's manager had to come to an agreement to boot Stevie Ray Vaughan off the tour, and Earl Slick had to learn the stuff on the plane going to the first European rehearsal, I think, because it started in Europe. It's all on Google. It's all there. But I can't imagine no one in rehearsals gave Tony Thompson a tune-up. I can't. But maybe it was a different time. Maybe people were more accepting of it. I don't know. Stacey, you think about the restraint needed for Modern Love. Bizarrely, that's not on the set. I don't think that's on there. But all the stuff was just listen to the rolls. When he's in the middle of a verse or a chorus, it's all right. Listen to the rolls. Listen to the things that are getting from A to B and B to C. Just not good. But the bass playing is absolutely fabulous. Meaning the perfection in the timing required. Exactly. Toasty Sandwich. Got the neck off now. No one had stuck any neck shims in since the last time I'd seen it off. That's good. So it's your choice what you want to use for neck shims. I suggest you don't use paper or cardboard because it compresses. You can go looking online and you can buy little bags of neck shims, but again, it depends on the thickness and the material they're made of. But I tend to use, I haven't got a card here. So I use old credit cards or old loyalty points cards or what have you. And the thinner the material, the better. And I just cut a length or a width strip of that. Sometimes it will fit the pocket, sometimes it won't. You just got to make it fit. And I tend to use two. So there'll be one towards the back of the pocket and either one in the middle or towards the front. And then it's a case of lining it up, getting the screws in and torquing them as hard as you can until they're in and that neck won't shift. And you will notice it very quickly once you put the strings back on that the frets are much nearer the strings, but it should take some of the gap away. Stacey, you'd have to be metronomic. Well, I don't think they're playing with any track. So this was 1983. I don't think there's any track on there. It doesn't sound like it. The keyboard player, Dave LeBolt, was always good. They had a horn section, two guitar players, bass and drums. It sounds great, but I'm just Tony Thompson's drumming. In the connecting sections, just have a listen. You'll hear it. It'll be very obvious. And you can pretty much pick any tune out of it. He does it on every tune. Toasted neck pocket was very tight. It was pretty dusty in there. I'm suspecting something was throwing the angle off. Could be. But shims will give you a bit more room to play with. I'm presuming you've had a listen, Stacey. That's just frenetic. I'm wondering if he was coked up, but that would have been bad form, doing that before you went on. But hey, it was the 80s, wasn't it? Maybe it was all going round in the band. I don't know. I'll ask Carmine Rojas when I interview him one day. Not that he's going to tell me, I would imagine. But yeah, so before you went on with David Bowie, were you all coked off your nuts? Probably not a great opening gambit. But it's like he's just playing like a frantic drummer. Like, just rush through it and get it done. It's just, and I'm a big Tony Thompson fan, but I hadn't heard him play like that. And yeah, shocking. Stacey, to quote a comment made on a grading sheet for the drum section, pipes were nice, but the drum corps ran away with the beat. Yeah. The daft thing is, he always manages to pick up the beat in a chorus, but it's if he's coming out of in a verse, sorry. But if he's coming out of a section, whether it be a verse or a chorus or a middle eight or whatever, he just seems insistent on doing these weird fills, and they're just so out of place and out of time. And you think, did no one mention this to you? Has no one recorded the rehearsals and said, do you know what? And Carlos Alomar should have been having a word in his shell, like, and said, you know, either play them properly or don't play them. Really. And I can't believe no one recorded a rehearsal and said, you know, pulled him up on it. But maybe they didn't. Maybe they took the reputation at face value. Could well be. Zuma, maybe Carlos was a little scared of him like Andy was. He's much, much bigger than me. Yeah, but I mean, he did have a reputation. If you read Niles's book, when they were doing the recording sessions for Let's Dance, he was very aware that Tony Thompson could be like that. He said, I had to really kind of put the reins on him and make sure he didn't do that, because Bowie could be very picky in that respect. And yeah, he got the tour. You know, he got the tour. It was a crazy time, no doubt. But Carmine Rojas just plays his ass off, and that ESP bass of his just sounds superb. Superb. What a tone. What a tone. Stacey, didn't Bernard have to edit Tony's kit at some point? On what? I'm talking Power Station here. I don't know. I don't know. If there's a comment, Google it, send it to me. Which project? Too Many Drums. I don't know. I've never read that. But I don't claim to have read everything Bernard Edwards has ever been quoted as saying. But where are we? There we go. Okay, very good. Zuma, what I really want to know is who played Let's Dance? Was it Omar Hakim or Tony? I think it was Omar Hakim. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's get in there. I thought it was Omar Hakim, but could be wrong. Let's have a look at the personnel. On the personnel. Here we go. Drums, Omar Hakim and Tony Thompson. Right, well, we need that broken down, chaps, in terms of track. So, right, okay. It says Omar Hakim on the majority of that album, including the title track. While Chic drummer Tony Thompson also played on some sessions, Hakim is recognised for defining the album's sound. And there's a video. Watch Omar Hakim discuss recording the drums for Let's Dance. It's Hakim on the major hits from the album Let's Dance, Modern Love, and China Girl. Okay. Sounds like Tony Thompson wasn't on too many of those. It just takes you to, that's no use. It doesn't really break it down. Carmine Rojas on all the tracks except one, which has got Bernard Edwards on. Duran connections in the horn department as well. Well, it does sound like Omar Hakim did the title track. By the sounds of it. Just looking at Carmine Rojas's discography. It's quite a bit. He was on Bluey Some. Okay. Yeah, done quite a bit. Yeah, there we go. Well, Google disagrees with you, Zoomer. It's saying it's Omar Hakim, and there are videos of Omar Hakim saying he played it. So the only person that could really tell you is Nile Rodgers. It is 20 to 9 here on Brooksy's Bass Corner. It's live chat 158 coming to you from London here in the UK. Hope you're all safe and well. Hope your bass playing's going great. Got another 20 minutes or so, unless things get very quiet. So if you've got any questions, any bass guitar related questions, put them in the live chat window and press send, and I'll respond to them as soon as I see them. Zoomer, you'll just have to ask Bob Clearmountain next time you have lunch. I'd name drop a Clang, are you? Clang. Yeah. 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 Yes. Yes. So we were going to have a little discussion, weren't we, you and I, about doing a video game channel. I can't remember if we've discussed this. I don't think we have. I know we're going off tangent here, folks. We're away from the bass stuff. We'll have a chat about that this week. We will have a discussion about that. I want to go that way. No. Yeah, the old glasses looked a little wonky there. That's it, Stacey. You tell him. Don't call you Shirley. Can we call you Agnes? Is Agnes okay? I've got to say, I hadn't mentioned it. There will be some live chats tomorrow coming from Birmingham. I'm up in Birmingham tomorrow. From Fair Deal Music. Be up there doing some filming and some reviewing and some demoing. There will be a live chat at some point. I don't know what time. I don't know quite how the day's going to pan out. It revolves entirely around what stock they've got in. But keep your eyes peeled on the channel for notifications. And there will be a live chat in store at some point. Obviously, if you miss it, you can watch it on catch up afterwards. But it could be good. I've never been there before. I only know one person there. My good mate Jay, who used to work at PMT in Birmingham. And yeah, we're going to be doing some demos, doing some live stuff. I'll take you around the store. Going to be doing some shorts recording, some long form recording. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Zuma, the chat isn't delivering some of your messages. Should be. Should be. I should be seeing everything. Are you on the horizontal feed or the vertical feed? Should be getting everything. I get everything on the streaming platform, no matter which version of the video it's come from. I had said, call me after the chat if you can. I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do that. I will call you once we finish. Cheers, Beat. Take care. Look after yourself. Happy posting this week. I hope you get some positive results. All good, my man. Look after yourself. You work on those emojis. I know I had to go back through all of my hundreds of chats. I could be shorts, and modify some of the titles and put the emoji stuff in. We will see if it works. It might have absolutely no effect whatsoever. On the other hand, it might. And you don't know. That's the problem. So we'll put them in, give it a couple of months and see if anything happens. And if nothing happens, then I know it was a load of old toot. Okay. You're going to do some Japan shorts. Very good. And Ultravox shorts. Okay. Stacey, early in Thompson's career, Edwards was known to literally take away pieces of his kit. This was done to force Thompson to stop overplaying and focus on mastering the in-the-pocket groove. Bernard was not for tolerating fools gladly. Clearly, that doesn't surprise me because if you listen to a lot of the Chic songs, there's very little tom work. It's pretty much all hi-hat, snare drum and bass drum. There's not a lot of tom stuff going on. You wonder if he was a good drummer, but he wasn't great, and they just utilized him within Chic for what he was and how good he was. And you wonder if the work he got with the big artists afterwards was more on that reputation than actually being great. Maybe. I'm saying all this as someone that loved his drumming, but after I watched that gig yesterday, I was like, and the fact that Bowie allowed it to be put out with that, that I find really strange, because he was very, or I'm led to believe, very pernickety on things, and drums were quite important to him. So I'm not sure why he must have heard it, or maybe just said, I don't care, put out whatever you want. Who knows? Who knows? Bernard knew what he wanted, just a bit. Just a bit. I think that was certainly the case. Highly likely. Have you got any more questions? Anything you'd like to talk about? If you're looking for some bass advice, then feel free to put your message in the live chat window and press send. And as soon as it appears here in the window, I'll respond to it. Stacey Thompson came from a jazz fusion background, so that could have been some of it too. But still, why weren't his fills in time? That's my point. That's my point. It's very well playing verses and choruses, fine, with no problems. But then when you stop, just don't play the fills in that case. Keep it all simple. But, if you've listened to any of those tracks on that video, I mean, it would have done my head in. Because after 10 nights of a tour, and they were on tour for, I think it was March to November in 83. It's not March, May, sorry. May, June, July, August, September, October, November into early December, I think it went. After 10 gigs, I would just have to sit down and say, we've got to find a way to solve this. That either you don't play fills, or you've got to somehow miraculously change the way you play in order for things to be right. And how, I mean, if no one noticed or people were tolerant of it, how depressing it must have been to know you've got the gig with David Bowie, possibly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you've got this load of old cobblers going on behind you. I wonder. Stacey, well, they're still controlling jazz too, not randomness. No, quite. But he's got none of it. He's got none of it. It was anxiety inducing. Yeah, because I was listening to this going, this can't go on throughout like 20 songs of a show, but it does. It just carries on. It just, yeah, it freaked you out, freaked me out, because I'm sitting there listening to the rest of it, and the rest of the band's killer. Earl Slick is amazing on that gig. Carlos Alamar's got some great moments. The horns are great. The BVs are great. I'm hearing Tony Thompson in the verses and choruses and thinking, yeah. And then he gets to a fill, and it's like someone's just thrown him down the stairs. Boom, and it all comes out at the wrong timing. And there are a couple of bits, I'm sure, where he just stops. Like if he's doing he's playing, and comes to do a fill, and I'm counting in my head and he's like on 3.5, but he knows that he's not going to make 4, so he doesn't play 4 and 4.5. He plays on 5. And I'm like, that's how I just don't. Yeah. May need to listen to the entirety of it with wine in hand. You might need some tablets as well. Zuma, any chance you might interview Carmine with the new mag? I would love to. And I lined him up to do one for BGM back in, gotta be 2017, 2018. So I was talking to him on and off for about 6 or 7 months, and we were going to tie it in, I think, with when he was over here in January 2018 to do the second Bowie tribute show that they would do yearly at Shepherd's Bush. And I said to my editor, do you give me the green light to go and do it? Oh, yeah. And when we got to 2018, I said, right, can we definitely do this? And he went, no, hang fire on it. And I said, but it's Carmine Rojas, one of the session cats, one of the session players for the last 30, 40 years. Why? Oh, we got so much content, we don't need to do it. I said, it's not a case of don't need. It's a case of we should. And it didn't happen. And then I think the following year, either he didn't do it, either Gail and Dorsey was on it, or they didn't run that show. Then we had COVID. And then by the time we came out of COVID, magazine only carried on for another year and a bit. So I will push for it. In fact, maybe I'll reinstigate the lines of communication. I think I've put that as an idea in our melting pot on WhatsApp between me and the editor. Let me do that, and let me check out who he's on tour with, because he's in his 70s now. Maybe he's not touring, in which case it'll be an online interview. But yeah, I thought we should do it, just as I thought we should interview Vale Johnson when he was here with Kenny G. And again, my editor, love him to bits, but sometimes I suggest things and he doesn't always get the importance of certain players. Who's the other one I said to him? Oh, Timothy B. Schmidt from the Eagles. I managed to line that up with their PR company in 2013 when they were due. Was it 2013? 2014. And I lined it up, and the PR company said, no, they're not doing any interviews. No. And by hook or by crook, I think just by sheer persistence, I managed to do it. And the PR company said, yes, great, fine. When would you like to do it? I said, I just need to check with my editor that he's happy for me to do this. And he said, no. I said, you are joking. I've managed to do all of this. I said, bass player with one of the biggest bands on the planet ever. Look at the record sales. Nah. No one will be that bothered. Anyway, bless his heart. So again, someone else that maybe we'll try and get. I mean, there aren't going to be many opportunities going forward to get Timothy B. Schmidt, but certainly not in a face-to-face, so it might have to be a video call. There's lots of possibilities. If you saw the list on our Melting Pot WhatsApp group, there's enough in there to keep us going for several years. Don't worry about that. Stacey, I just think it's great to have a name that mean. Yeah. DJ Spy, what's the biggest stage you've played on? Oh, I'll tell you in a minute. Stacey, I'm trying to type on an iPad today and not well. You need a stylus for that. Zuma, Timothy, wow, he's got a great voice too. Correct. Stacey, how cool is the name Carmine Rojas, though? Red, basically. Big Red. What's the biggest stage I've played on? I've played on some big ones. Do you mean actually in physical nature? Physical nature, I've done some festival stages that have been bloody huge, to the point you can, when I'm wearing glasses with Uncle Funk, I have prescription lenses in my sunglasses, so I can see our guitarist on the other side, or what have you. We have done some shows where I've had a lead into my pedal board and thought, and it's a long lead, got to be a 30-footer, and thinking, I'm not even going to get to where the drum riser is with that. So some of those festival stages are really deep and really wide. When I played Vienna Stadthalle, which is like Wembley, well, it's like the O2 in Vienna. I played there with Bonnie Tyler in 2006. And that was seriously wide and again, seriously deep. And you look at these things and it's like, these are caverns of places. They're huge, absolutely huge. Um, and you can kind of shrink, you can kind of go into your shell and think, don't move, stay put. But the stage is there to be explored, frankly. And providing you got a lead long enough, go for it. Go for it. Trying to think, what others? A couple of the Green Day gigs when I was doing a Green Day tribute. We did some university shows. Some of the UK universities have really big stages. And I miss not doing those sort of shows because they were great. Like UEA in Norwich, it's just great, and it goes up. It has levels around you. Warwick as well. Warwick was a cracker. It always felt quite imposing playing at Warwick because you'd be on the stage and it was like the room was sort of not octagonal, but it had sort of that feel. And then people would be on the levels going up, and it was like, whoa, crikey, okay. Yeah. So yes, done some big stages. Yeah. Uh, DJ Spider played at the Sunderland Empire. Very nice. Very nice. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I'm trying to think any particular festival comes to mind, but it's like when we do Soultasia with Uncle Funk. They're really wide stages. Thankfully, we're a 9-piece band, so we kind of make it look good. We're moving about all the time. Then again, we do some festival stages, and it's quite cramped. It's luck of the draw. Um, which is a 2,000-seater Sunderland. Okay. I think most people I've played to was in the glam rock tribute band days. We used to do a thing called the Fête de la Musique in Nice, which is like a day every June when France celebrates artists and artistry and music and dance and all of that sort of thing. And we, for a couple of years, headlined the Fête de la Musique in Nice. And I think there was probably about 15 to 20,000 people. So we were playing in the square, but all the roads leading off of the square, you could just see people all the way back. I've got some photos. There was actually video footage once upon a time, because the second year we did it in 97, it was filmed and broadcast on the net at the time. Very blocky. We looked like Lego. And the photos I've still got them, and you just literally were going back and back and back. In fact, hold on, I have got a little picture. Hold on, folks. I have got some photos because I saw it the other day. Here we go. Pick your pictures, Mike. Where are we? There we go. Here we go. Hopefully you can see that. And literally the roads were going back and back and back and back and back. And then there were roads going left and right that you can't see on that picture. It was just full of people. And it was free. I don't think people paid. That was the thing. It was all subsidised by the French government. So people literally just turned up. But it was, I think there was about 15 to 20,000 people. And it was all going widthways. So where that guy's there with the orange hair, to the right, there was loads of room. So literally people were around the side as well. It was great. It was great. Good weekends those were. I think there's another picture here. Bear with me a moment. Yeah, there we go. There. So it was literally like that, both sides. Just people and people and people. And it just kept going and going and going. But yeah. Halcyon days. Halcyon days. Let's see if I've got anything else relating to that. So this was the first year we did it in '96. It doesn't really give you an idea of the size of it. But actually this stage was much smaller than the one the following year. So those pictures with all the people, that was 97. This was 96. And I've actually got a newspaper with us on stage with that view. Yeah, crazy times. Crazy times. Still got the T-shirts from those shows. Yeah, that's about it for that. Folks, it has just gone 9 o'clock here. Time for me to wrap up. I've got to get to bed shortly because I've got an early start in the morning before we go to Fair Deal Music in Birmingham. So have a great week. Thank you for watching the live chat. Thank you for getting involved. Thank you for all the super chats. Fabulous, outstanding, folks. Let's think. What else do I need to tell you? There we go. So I will see you next Sunday. There'll be some stuff going up. There'll be a live chat tomorrow from Fair Deal Music as well. So as we bring this to a close, please give the video a thumbs up if you've been watching. If you're watching after the event, still give it a thumbs up. It makes all the difference. Please leave comments. Please feel free to share it out to social media. Links to Brooks's Bass Corner merch in the description box below, along with affiliate links for Amazon, THOMANN, the Bass Center, VIDIQ, and Top Cashback. I'm going to put a little link. There's going to be a thumbnail appearing right. You need to go that way, Mike. You're in opposition. There we go. There's going to be a thumbnail there very shortly. And then on the desktop version, it will be there. And I'm going to put a link through to the bass reviews playlist. So if you want to check out some bass reviews, feel free. There'll be loads there. So as I say, what's this Zuma? I play every single night at Madison Square Gardens with Duran Duran in your head. Yes, quite. So as I say, there will be a thumbnail here very shortly on the vertical and there on the horizontal, which will take you through to the bass reviews playlist. So check out some of the videos in there. Leave some comments. Hope you enjoy the videos. On that note, folks, have a great week. Enjoy yourselves. If you're out playing bass, take it easy. Get home safely from your gigs. And I'll see you next Sunday. If I don't see you tomorrow, take it easy. Have a great week.